and I say this, not all the time, but I say this enough times to where I'm like, you know what? I'm not gay. And I clarify that I'm not gay. But like, I'm like,
But I could go for 6'3".
But he's tall, he's got the facial hair. I'm not gonna lie, like I remember he had some ass. He was a tall ass guy. And I mean, I know you can't deny it because he was wearing like skinny jeans.
Yeah.
So, that's why I clarify, like, I'm not gay.
But you like cake.
But like
it's okay, bro. Just pound cake, angel cake, confetti cake.
Actually, while we were there, my tia Heno actually got to like meet him, and that's the first thing she pointed out, that he has a big ass, and so did Juana and the rest of the people. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So you see, right? Like, it's not just me, but like because I'm a guy, I gotta clarify. I'm not gay, but he had some ass.
There you go.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the New Age Podcast. My name is Adio.
My name is Charles.
And today is another guest episode, so we have another guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Cece.
All right, so for anyone that doesn't know, who this person is, this is one of my very close cousins. And we just feel like she has some opinions and stuff that she could talk about when it comes to being a full-time college student and having long-distance relationships and a bunch of other stuff. But like those will be the main two topics we talk about today. So just a forewarning for anyone out there listening, if you feel like, this could be something you'd want to listen to, or you can, learn something out of this, by all means, stay tuned. But other than that, I hope you guys, stick with it and enjoy it.
So, Cece, he knows who you are. I don't know who you are. So give me a quick bio. Like, what school do you go to? Get just a quick bio.
Okay, so I go to CSUSB. I'm a fourth-year student, so I will be graduating this year. And I love playing video games like Dario. I don't know if you still play, but...
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. What else about me?
What's your major?
Oh, studio art. I'm majoring in studio art. What I want to do in the future, if I decide to live here in the US or move because of my long distance relationship, I did want to be an art teacher and then like continue my education to grad school and then hopefully become an art professor.
Okay. Now you said go out of the US.
Yeah.
So give us details why.
Because I'm in a long distance relationship. And he has a job over there. And for him, it would be easier for me to go over there because he's an English teacher. And I don't have a job yet. So it's like he's not losing anything if I go over there. But if he comes over here, it's going to be a little bit harder because he's going to have to look for a new job.
Now you say he's over there.
In Mexico.
Okay, so just for clarification, yeah. So for anyone that's listening in, this is different countries, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? Oh, so, I mean, I know of him. I've never personally met him, like you brought up earlier. Mm-hmm. But do you feel like you talking to him, being with him, has influenced your decisions with who you wanted to be? Whether it was a stronger decision or kind of a change in path for the career? Also, because I know he's, like you said, he's a teacher. So did you like have that stronger sense of, okay, now I want to become an art teacher or art professor? Like, how did that go?
No, so even before I met him, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And then I heard that he was an English teacher. And I was like, wow, we're both going to be teachers. Well, if of course, if I decide to stay here, but I mean, I could still be a teacher over there, but it's going to be a little bit different, challenging for me.
How long have you guys been together?
We're going to be a year.
Oh, okay.
This month, actually.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But we've been knowing each other for years now because we met in 2019.
Yeah. We met like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys meet?
At a baile.
So pro, he could dance.
So do you want to tell the story?
You could tell some of it too because you were there with me.
That's what I'm saying. But do you want to tell the story? Because you know the details. You know his side and your side.
Mhm.
But yeah, no. So do you want me to start it at least? Or
Yeah, you
how do
can
wanna
start
go?
it.
Okay. So little background. This was 2019.
19. Yeah.
2019. We had gone to Mexico to go visit family over there. And at least in our little town that we go to visit, there are bailes, there are parties every single night. And because it's such a small like town, the little town center where they set everything up, no matter where you're at, if you're not at the baile, you can't go to sleep because of how loud the music is. So it's kind of like you have to go and check it out. Anyways, I was kind of like the only guy cousin out of me and my cousins that had gone, and some of my cousins are very like, you know, a little. They feel like some of the people that live in that town in Mexico are a little sketchy. They're a little weird, a little awkward. So majority of
A little?
times, well, I mean, I say a little because like I'm not, them. I wasn't in their shoes. So I wasn't sure, but basically every night when we would go to bailes, because all of us love to, we love dancing, or either we love dancing, we want to learn how to dance, or it's just to go and have fun with, cousins and make memories and all that. So we would always go as a group. So it would be 3, 4 of us, but it was like 3 or 4 of my cousins plus me. So it was my girl cousins and me. And whenever we'd go, I'd always get looked at
As a pimp.
basically, like there's no other way to say it. Basically, like that, because every night I was walking up with my cousins around me. Now at this point, it was like I was kind of like, I don't want to say like security, but like they felt safer when I was there.
Okay.
So that was another reason why they would go with me, was because they, me being there, they would feel safer, and they knew if a guy were to come up and not leave them alone, like I was gonna press them, I was gonna do something about it.
Which
So,
did happen, remember? Like they kept coming up to ask, like, "Oh, do you want to dance?"
Mhm.
And we'd say no, and they'd still keep coming back.
Bro, what is it with that? Like, I just witnessed that yesterday, but continue my bad.
No, but so yeah, like I would always get looked at because I'm not, I'm walking up every night to these parties or to these bailes with, for somebody else, it's like these girls are around me, and like once we actually started dancing, it would be, we would dance in a circle, or like one of my cousins was like, "Oh, like Dario, like let's go dance as you and I," or another cousin. So it was like either I jumped between cousins to go and dance, or it was us dancing in a circle. And there was one time that was it I that had noticed him initially and I had told you, or who was it?
Told about who?
Told you about him kind of like constantly staring at you.
Oh yeah, you did.
So okay, yeah. So I'm very cognitive, and I notice things. I notice when people are staring, at least at me or at the people around me, and this and that. So there was a tall guy.
How tall?
6'3".
She- So who was looking at who?
And there was this tall guy, and there was another like not
6'3".
not tall, but like a little chubbier of a guy with him. So it was them two, and the tall guy was staring at Cece, and the shorter chubby guy was staring at my other cousin. And like I said, I'm very cognitive, so I was able to pick up on this quickly. So I pointed them out to my cousins and let them know, and they're like, my girl cousin, my other one that was also getting looked at, she was like, "Oh, like he looks 30, he looks 40, he looks old, like nah, like like that's weird."
The little chubby guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was way older than her too, though.
But yeah, so she was, so she kind of denied it because of that. She, he looked pretty old, and I had told you about the other guy. And what was your initial reaction?
About my now boyfriend?
Yeah, like
6'3" guy.
I mean, I told you too. I thought he was attractive. but I didn't know anything about him, like who he was, until Teresita, which is our cousin.
Because so basically that night, a lot of it was just looks exchanged back and forth, but like he wouldn't come up to her and ask to dance or to come up to her in general, and you wouldn't go up to him.
But here's what he told me. I told him that, and he said that he didn't take me out to dance because he thought we were a couple.
That happens. That happens.
That happens. Yeah. The whole pimp. No, but no, I mean I get that now. Obviously now you guys have talked about
Don't
it.
punk a pimp. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but it's just funny because that day that was that initial, not getting to know, but initial interaction with each other, of how you guys kind of just made eye contact and looked at one another, but that was it. No one said, hey, hi, no introductions, no dancing, nothing. But I know for a fact that same night, as we were going back, I can hear you going, Dario, like, he was handsome and this and that. And like, you're like pointing these things out of his looks. And I say this, not all the time, but I say this enough times to where I'm like, you know what? I'm not gay. And I clarify that I'm not gay. But like, I'm like,
But I could go for 6'3".
But he's tall, he's got the facial hair. I'm not gonna lie, like I remember he had some ass. He was a tall ass guy. And I mean, I know you can't deny it because he was wearing like skinny jeans.
Yeah.
So that's why I clarify. Like, I'm not gay,
But you like cake.
but like,
It's okay, bro. Just pound cake, angel cake, confetti cake.
Actually, while we were there, my tia Heno actually got to like meet him, and that's the first thing she pointed out, that he has a big ass, and so did Juana and the rest of the people. And I was like, oh my gosh.
so you see, right? Like, it's not just me, but like, because I'm a guy, I gotta clarify. I'm not gay, but he had some ass.
There you go.
But and it's funny because literally the times you guys had interacted or had that little eye contact and all that, because you guys saw each other 2 or 3 different nights afterwards, but still no one was saying anything to one another. And it was by the time you had gone back, because I was going to stay for an extra week or 2, I think. So you had gone back, and I was doing something at another cousin's house, and turns out he was there visiting like family, right?
Yeah, our cousin.
So he was there visiting family, and I was like, oh, he's in town. This is like, I was like, my cousin's not here. Says he's not here. I can do her, do a little wingman thing without her even knowing. And that wasn't my initial reaction either. That was also Lutza's reaction. So, but I know at that point, our other cousin Teresita was basically trying to like kind of get info from him to then tell me, to then tell you, to see how all that went. And I feel like at this point, more of how everything started between the two of you guys with conversating and all that.
Yeah. So actually, we found out about who he really was from our cousin Teresita, because he's also her cousin, but he's not our cousin.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that just... I said mute me, Dario.
Yeah, no, we had to make sure that he wasn't our cousin, because over there in Mexico, like, everybody's kind of related to each other. So that was the first thing we had to check.
She said we had to check.
We had to make sure.
I get that.
Wait. So just to clarify, because I think people are just as confused as I am. So Teresita's your cousin, right?
Yes.
And then he's her cousin, right?
Yeah. But he's not our cousin. He's only Teresita's cousin.
Okay, so it's like a third cousin type of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Those don't count. It's true.
But yeah, so like, how did he get
in touch with me?
Yeah, how did he get in touch with you, or you get in touch with him? Like, how did that work out?
So actually, he got in touch with me, and it's kind of crazy how he found me because it was through Instagram, through DM. And I guess Teresita told him my name, but he tried to like look me up, but nothing came up. And then so he went to the Ex Hacienda location on Instagram, since that's where we met. That's where we saw him. And I guess he was going to the pictures that were posted with that tag of the location, and he found a picture of Dulce, and I come out in the picture, and I was tagged in it. So that's how he found me. And then he started following me from there, and then we started talking.
I don't know if that was my post or not. I don't know if I posted.
Of me and Dulce?
Because
I don't think that was yours.
I don't think so.
No,
But
it was
I
on
do
Dulce's
recall
page.
seeing something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. He was really, really
I
searching.
know, right?
Yeah, he
that's
was.
that's like next level lurking. Damn.
Now you could take it to it. That could be creepy.
Or that could be attractive.
Yeah.
But in this case, you said he's in Mexico,
Yeah.
and like he was hanging out with the other guy. Out of curiosity, how old is he?
My boyfriend?
Yeah.
He's barely 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you guys, how has it been with school and handling? Because he's in Mexico, correct?
Yeah.
How has that been? Like, how often do you guys see each other, and what's like the best way that you guys manage to keep communication?
Mhm. So we talk every day through Instagram or through messages, whatever it is. We call each other as well here and there. And the way that I see him, like I could go see him in person, is when I'm off break and when he's off break too, because he gives lectures and he teaches. So we have to communicate with each other and see like when he gets off and when I get off. And then it's usually during the summer or winter break where we get to each other, because those are the best times that work for the both of us. And that's the time where we get like more than a couple weeks off of school. So it works better. Like that's the longest time we could see each other, for a couple weeks. So I just stay over there at my grandma's house.
So you go down there, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty effective. I mean, what's one thing you would say that's been the hardest part, though?
The whole long distance, that I can't be able to see him like every day. That's definitely the hardest.
But in this case, would you say that you guys don't have outside influences, do you? As in, like, so my main thing is I think long distance relationships could definitely work, no
Yeah.
doubt. But I think the problem is like whenever you have like outside people come in speaking on behalf of someone else. Has that situation ever came across?
Not really.
No? Oh, you guys are fortunate.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
No mutual friends.
No mutual
family
friends
members
saying-
or anything like that.
No?
Okay, good. Hey,
It's been really
hey,
good.
honestly, hell yeah. Then in this case, what would you say is at least a perk?
A perk? I don't know. I'd have to think of it. That's a good question.
Like
A
the one
perk?
thing I would think of is, I mean, I think you would probably have like the ability to, when you're at school, focus on school.
Yeah, that's
he's on the
definitely a
phone.
perk,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's not in person.
Mhm. Yeah, because it could be a little bit distracting too, like with him being here in person and like wanting to go out, but I'm more focused on my school right now that he's doing his own thing and I'm doing my own thing. So it works out.
See, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like partners. It's because he gets mad that I never call my girlfriend a girlfriend. I call her my partner because she does her own thing. I do my own
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
But it's because you guys think that the word girlfriend and boyfriend is gay.
It's unsophisticated. I prefer partner. Anyways, but I say that sounds like a partnership. Now, the one thing I want to ask is, have you been in any relationship before this?
Yeah,
How would you say this compares to the others?
definitely different because of the long distance. The other ones weren't long distance. But also, how do I say it? I don't know.
Also, he's 6'3" with cake.
Mhm.
She did not say that.
Mhm.
Respect.
Yeah.
So in this case, because you guys are doing long distance from U.S. to Mexico, what would be something that if let's say you had another girl cousin or a girl best friend, or I don't know, just someone out there that came up to you and knew your guys' relationship and asked for like tips or for advice or something, is there anything that would come to mind that you could tell them, whether it's consistency, whether it's patience, like what would you say?
Definitely patience. You have to be patient because you can't be with them like all the time. And whatever works best for you guys, the time when you guys are able to see each other. You just kind of have to balance it all out. But definitely patience.
Patience and discipline. I mean, you guys call it every day. That's dedication.
Yeah, communication, that's key too. You have to keep in touch with them and know like what they've been up to as well. Keep in touch.
No, I don't want to like change the mood, but I might have to. And this is something I feel like people that are doing long distance or considering it or whatever the case may be, are there any problems you guys run into? Whether it's like, maybe he doesn't tell you what he's doing or he kind of stops talking to you for a bit, for like a day or two. Like, what kind of happens and how do you guys handle it? Whether it's, do you guys sit down and talk? Does he let you know ahead of time? Like, how does this work? Because, not every relationship is all butterflies and sunflowers the whole way through, especially through long distance.
Yeah, it's hard to trust somebody when you can't be with them all the time, but you kind of have to work together to gain that trust. So, the time that I spend with him, I get to see how he is, who he is, like in person, because online is not the same as being in person. So that's something that plays a big role in long distance relationship, trust.
And you said 2 weeks out of the year, right? You said
like twice out of the year.
Twice out of the year.
Yeah, but when we do see each other, it's for weeks. Like I stay over there for weeks.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And my main question is, have you ever been around like anybody else who's done long distance relationships and it didn't work out?
No, I don't know.
Okay,
that many people.
I was gonna ask, has it ever been intimidating in their case if it didn't work out? Like, has it ever had like a intimidation influence on you?
Yeah, a little bit. Because I had even told Dario, I was like, I'm not doing no long distance relationship. I was like, that's too hard. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. But here I am.
You jinx yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's crazy. That's like my cousin. Hey, but I mean, it's pretty dope if there's someone out there that, you're willing to.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, and I'm going to kind of sidetrack off of it, but not too much. But what would you say is by far been the most interesting part of this relationship? Saying that it's your first long distance relationship. And have you ever came across moments, or has he ever came across moments where it's been a question of interest?
But could you repeat that?
So, okay. Has there ever been a question of interest come up at any point because of how long distance it is?
Mm-hmm.
Or you guys always been, we got this?
Yeah, kind of. I guess.
Did you want to clarify my question? Did you get it? Okay, there you go.
So is it like, do you guys ever question whether it was working out, or did you guys feel like, it was kind of falling down or falling apart? The distance wasn't helping. Like, did you guys feel like you were at a point where, maybe this long distance isn't working out, or has it been nice butterflies and sunflowers the whole way through, where you're like, you know what? I know myself and he knows himself. And, if we both say that we can go through it and stick through it, then it works out.
Yeah, that was a better clarification.
I told him.
I got it. Like the first time I was a little confused too.
Yeah,
I was
like, could you repeat that? But no, that does make sense. No, there was times where I was like, I can't do this, like long distance. But like we said, patience really is a key. And we're just going to be waiting to see like how it keeps going. But so far, we're doing great.
You're not the jealous type, are you?
A little bit. Not really though. Just a little bit.
How has that been? Because I feel like just being the jealous type, like it just like it's kind of like a knuck in the butt.
Yeah, I know.
Consistently.
I'm not the super jealous type, but just a little bit.
Is
just
he?
A little. No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not.
And what do you get jealous about when girls like stare at him from the back?
Oh my god. No, but
when Dario looks at him from the back.
Oh my gosh. No, but I was with him one time, and there was like where these girls were like catcalling him, and I was with him, and I was like, what the heck? I was like, it was National Girlfriend's Day, and he took me out to a restaurant. And since it's Mexico, like if you don't have a car, you take the taxis or the combis. So we were waiting for a taxi, and then there was a group of girls like in the corner where we were at waiting, and we were going into the car, and they're like muchacho and like whistling at him, and I was like, excuse me, I'm his girlfriend. But I didn't really get jealous. Like I don't know, I do get jealous sometimes, but most of the time I don't because I know that he's mine. They can't have him.
And how would you say so far that, they usually say like there's like a hierarchy? Like, would you say there's a hierarchy in your guys' relationship or no?
Daddy, you want to clarify?
Okay, so like, they say like usually the girl leads or the guy leads.
Oh.
How would you say your relationship is for that?
I feel like we both.
Okay.
So like, there's enough clarification, and you guys, clarify, talk about it, like situations and not to where you guys both feel like you guys are both in control and not, he's taking control of you or you're taking control of him.
Oh yeah, it's like mutual. Yeah.
This sounds like a really good relationship, even after long distance. I don't know. Like, it's funny because it sounds like me and Charles, mainly Charles.
Whoa. Hold on. Pause. It doesn't mean in the sense of me and him. Okay, you should clarify.
In the sense of how
people already think you're looking
like,
at guys' ass, bro.
Listen, bro, it's not like that, dude. You're throwing me under the bus. But I'm saying it in the sense of, it sounds like you and I, Charles, we're trying to find like a problem or something that's wrong with their relationship.
Who says I am? I'm just genuinely curious. You are.
No, but I'm saying like I'm asking questions, but your questions are sounding more like you're trying to find who's, Now, obviously, this is just clarification for the people out there listening, because, everyone kind of questions it, whether a long distance can work out or not. And, they may or may not know someone who's gone through it or who is going through it, whatever the case may be. So for us, these kind of questions that we can ask can be clarification for us, or at least, for me in this position where I'm not with someone, but you never know whether long distance can jump in or not. So it's just knowledge in general. So I feel like our questions are guided towards it. But I will say it kind of sounded like we were trying to find something.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, if it came off that way, my bad. My apologies. I was just genuinely curious. But my question to you is, what makes you think, what do you think is the reason why most people don't want to try long distance relationships?
Because it's definitely not easy being in a long distance relationship. And I feel like a lot of people are impatient. That's a thing. And what else? Do you guys have any?
Do you think a couple could transition from being with each other in person to long distance? Or do you think that that's just like a way, because you guys started long distance, right?
Yeah, we did.
So it was like a foundation where you built upon it.
Yeah.
Now, if a couple has used to seeing each other every single day or seeing each other consistently, then long distance happens. Do you think that's much harder?
Yeah, I think it would be a little bit harder, but I feel like it would still be able to work. As long as they like communicate, trust each other, call each other. Yeah, and tell each other like stuff about how their day was and know what they've been doing. I think it does work. It does work out.
And are you guys the busy type?
A little bit, yeah.
So sometimes where it's like you can't even really contact them that day.
Well, no, we talk every single day. We have to talk every single day.
Oh, so you find time at some point.
Yeah, you have to make time. We both are very busy. I'm at school. He's at school. He's teaching. I'm learning. So we make time for each other. You have to make time for each other.
Has there ever been times where he's kind of let you know ahead of time, hey, today is a really busy day. I may or may not be able to talk?
Yeah. There is times where he does give me a heads up. But most of the time we make sure that we do make time for each other, no matter how busy we are.
Now, good question before Charles jumps in.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you feel like he's done or he does that you appreciate? Like those little heads up.
Yeah, like he can't really give you flowers in person. Yeah. So what is his version of giving you flowers?
His version?
Well, that's a different question, but
that's the same question.
No,
because he can't give. He's what's he gonna do? Send flowers through mail, through UPS?
I mean, he can order them here and have them to her.
Can.
No, but what I'm saying is like little things that you appreciate. Yeah, I can see where it goes in with that same question, but I'm meaning like because you guys are not together in person, like through text, through calls? Like, is there things that he does that you're like, you know what? I appreciate that he's doing that for, from his end to me, even with this long distance.
Yeah, well, every time I wake up, it's always a good morning text. When I go to sleep, good night text too, and then he tells me that he loves me. So that's something I appreciate because that, I don't know, you don't always get a good morning text sometimes, but I always get one from him every day.
Would you say that's his version of giving you flowers? Or what's something he does that's like the version of him giving you flowers?
Flowers? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, like, does he, I don't know, send you a picture like of him, of his selfie just
Cake.
while he's doing it work?
That's stuck in my head.
Yeah, that sounds like you're the obsessed one, not me. Dickhead. No, but like, does he like send you a picture of a puppy, like if he has any animals, or if he, let's say he's going out of town because of some work thing, like he sends you a picture of the town or something, does he
Or
do
just
that
like
kind of stuff?
updates you, hey, I just left this place, I'm gonna go to this place.
Yeah, he does do that sometimes. We both do that. Like if we're gonna go somewhere, we take pictures and so that he could see what I'm doing, where I'm at, and he does the same. We send each other pictures.
That's good that you guys take that as like a positive trusting thing.
Mhm.
Most people
Exactly,
be like, man, why are you trying to track me? So that's actually really
Yeah.
dope. No, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't think I even have any more questions. Just more like curiosities. They're not even
trying to see
questions.
what kind of cake he's got. Is what you're thinking.
First of all, you're the one who admired his cake. I'm just bringing up everything you've been pointing out. That's all I'm doing, okay? That's it. I don't need his cake. I don't even like cake. Anyways, but mine's just a curiosity. So in this case, well, would you give the same advice you just said for the patients? And what was patience and?
Patience, trust, communication.
Patience, trust, communication to a couple who has been together. And let's just say either this is post-high school or post-college, and now they're separating, but they're still trying to keep the relationship. Rather than ending it, they're going to try it. What are some tips you would give them? The same ones?
Yeah, the same ones.
But how do you say? What if they had a foundation where they just didn't text and call as much? Would you say now they need to?
Yeah, definitely.
And what's the importance behind that, though?
Communication?
No, there's like the texting and calling consistently.
Oh, well, not consistently, but here and there. Yeah.
I can see why you ask these kind of questions. This is more of a you.
Well, calm down.
question.
That's why I said they're curiosities, not even questions. Just, what are some recommendations or tips you would give?
No, because so in his sense, with the whole foundation, let's say it was more of them spending time together, was them meeting in person and physically being with one another. And now, let's say career-wise or high school or college, stuff, they have to do distance, they weren't really texting or calling in the first place. Like, do you think they should now try it or do it a little more consistently? Maybe, saying in this case, we'll call every other time, but, once a month, let's meet up, or depending on the distance, what in that sense, what would you say as an advice?
Yeah, I would say communicate, not like every second, but here and there, because that would get annoying if you did it like every hour, because I feel like that's like you're not trusting that person.
Okay, so something really interesting I feel like I should ask. Mm-hmm. So are you familiar with the 5 love languages?
No.
Okay, so there's a book by Gary Chapman called The 5 Love Languages. Now, it's basically we all understand and receive love different ways. Mm-hmm. There's 5 love languages. I'm going to ask you, out of these 5, which one do you believe are your main 2? And which one do you believe are his main 2? And how do you guys make it work? Okay. So, for those of you guys who don't know, I guess you learn too. So one of the first ones is acts of service. These are for people whose actions speak louder than words, meaning they will open the door for you. They will, hold your hand when you're out in public. If they notice you're uncomfortable, they will put you towards them, for security purposes. Mm-hmm. The second one's receiving gifts. This could be from receiving flowers to receiving actual gifts to even just being treated here and there. The third love language is actually quality time. meaning when you're with each other, you're genuinely with each other. No one's on their phone, no one's BSing it, no distractions. It's just me and you time. The fourth one's words of affirmation. This means words that give you validation, words that give you trust and security. Just them verbally expressing their love.
Like, them telling you I love you, them, I miss you, like that kind of stuff.
Or like, you're a bad bitch, stuff like that. So, and then the last one's physical touch, which I feel like is probably the hardest ones if you're in a long distance relationship. But physical touch is physical touch, from holding the hand to grabbing onto his arm to him putting his hand on her thigh while they're driving, all types of stuff like that. What do you say are your main two, and what do you think are his main two?
Can you repeat the whole thing again? The whole list? The 5?
So you have acts of service, 1. Receiving gifts, 2. Quality time, 3. Words of affirmation, 4. And number 5, physical touch.
I would say receiving gifts and quality time.
Okay.
Yeah, those two.
And what do you think
I
are
feel like that
his?
would be for the both of us.
Oh, okay. How do you guys make that work?
Make what work?
Like, at least on the receiving gifts part.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Usually when I go see him, it's winter break, so it's like in December, like Christmas time. But every time we see each other, we give each other gifts. Like I get him something and he gets me something. We don't like expect anything from each other, but that's something we do. Like I get him something and I didn't expect anything in return, and he surprised me with like a necklace with his initial, the A. But yeah.
To remind any dude out there. And then at least you said receiving gifts and quality time.
Yeah, quality time.
And you say that quality time is when you have a chance to call him or when you have a chance to just be with him in person. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say out of those 5, what is one of those languages that you feel like would make a long distance relationship almost impossible?
Impossible?
Almost impossible.
Almost impossible.
Like if this was their number 1, it would be so hard to do a long distance relationship.
I'm not sure.
What do you think, Dario? It's an open question.
Well, first thing came into mind was physical touch.
Physical touch?
Yeah. That's the first thing that'll come to my mind.
Because, like at that point, you're kind of like, well, both ends, whether it's male or female or, whichever, they're like, I want to cuddle, but you're not there. Like, I want a kiss from you, but you're not there. Like, even just the small things like, I was walking down the street and I just had that thought of holding your hand, but you're not here. Like, it's the little things where with physical touch, you'll think these things, but you'll realize that person's not there physically by your side to do those actions. So it's like, I can see, at least from my perspective, where physical touch would be like the hardest of all 5.
What are yours, by the way? Your main 2. Ladies, take notes. And men, 6'3" with butt.
I don't want to be that short. Come on. No. What would they be?
I put you on the spot, my bad.
Yeah, no, you really did, because this is more of like a you thing. You read books and you read, well, at least a lot more than
knowledge.
Me. So you gain knowledge this way. And I know you talk about the whole, like, the love languages, just that kind of stuff. Like, this is something like that was that kind of a question I know for a fact you would have asked me.
Yeah.
And you've asked me before, but this isn't something like, it's caught my interest. So let me look into it. Like, let me see what I like and all that.
It's a simple question out of those spots. Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm on the spot, it's like I have to think of what my 2 would actually be. Honestly, I feel like quality time and what were the first 2?
Receiving gifts and acts of service. Then you have words of affirmation and you have physical touch. I'll be honest with mine. I stand by mine strongly. It's literally physical touch and quality time.
I would say quality time and words of affirmation. I'm not going to lie. Physical touch would be like the fight between second place.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just rather prefer like quality time, like, we're together, no cell phones, like we value each other's time. We are like acknowledging one another. So I would value that more over than physical touch. So I feel like I can, substitute that for something else. But the reason why I would personally say words of affirmation was because my parents aren't really I'm going to tell you I love you every time.
Mm-hmm.
Or, my dad wasn't, he didn't always tell me like, good job with this, or, you're doing amazing. Like I could tell by his facial expressions, or just basically like his facial expressions when I would tell him something that I did. But it was rare that he would tell me like, good job with this, or you're doing great, or that kind of stuff in that sense. So for me, I just feel like words of affirmation, if you say the right words at the right time, it's gonna hit me, and it's gonna hit me hard, and I am gonna remember them. So to me, that's just my two. But give me a little like description of why you would pick year two, because everybody's different and
Why would
everybody's
I
got
put
their
mine two?
reasons.
Mine's pretty simple. So for the acts of service, I've always been the type of person who's used to doing things for myself. So that doesn't really mean much to me because it's like I could provide that for myself.
Independent.
I guess same thing with the words of affirmation. I'm the type of person where I told him I don't really listen to music when I work out. I yell shit at myself. I'm a little too intense when I work out, whenever I do anything. So like I don't even need words of affirmation. Like I am my words of affirmation. And then the other one is receiving gifts. Me personally, I'm not really materialistic, dude. Every time I have anything that's materialistic, I get bored of it real quick. I had a car, sold it within less than a year.
Your bike.
I had a motorcycle, sold it within less than 6 months.
Now you won.
And I won another one, yes.
So he could tell again.
Exactly. But it's just the materialistic stuff's never meant anything to me. So but when it has thought behind it, like your necklace you explained, I could get that, because this watch I got from my partner, it has like my initials. You can ask him, I wear it every day. So like
my bracelet.
And then, I got her a bracelet as well. And she wears it, so it's things like that I would actually appreciate. But that's not really like a big love language for me. For me, physical touch, because at the end of the day, I don't know how to explain this. Oh, whoa, what'd you do? Okay. But just me as a person, I just think like physical touch is so valuable. Mostly because I was the type of person as a kid, similar to you, but it was never the words. It was more like a hug crave, just like a physical touch crave. So, and it doesn't always mean sexual, it just means like anything, physical touch. So I would say that's a big one for me, just because 9 out of 10 times when I'm doing something, I could cover everything else but physical touch. I can't just hug myself. That's just weird. You get me? And then I would say for quality time, everybody wants quality time. Come on, time is valuable. Don't waste my time.
Exactly.
Don't waste my time. But you're in a long distance relationship. Which one of those, if you could only have one, would you rather have out of those two?
Out of which two?
Quality time or physical touch?
No, because her two was quality time and receiving gifts.
Yeah.
And you said it would probably be the both.
Yeah.
Which one, let's say it's only one that's like really like received and reciprocated, which one would it be?
Definitely quality time.
Okay. I think we all have a mutual for that.
Yeah.
Relationship tip number 1, quality time.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I know for at least the three of us, and I know I can kind of speak for the three of us, when you have someone that you know is worth your time, if you guys are present in person and they're just on their phone the whole time, it's like, I know, we have our mindsets of, dude, like, get off the phone. I'm like, we're here, we're hanging out, whether we see each other often or not. But I know, like, the three of us who wouldn't stay quiet with that either. So, I can clearly see why each of us chose quality time as one of them. But I know nowadays a lot of people are too focused on their phones where, let's say me and Charles, for example, right? Like, even to us, we're not in a relationship together in that sense, but we hang out quite often where we're going on trips, we're going on podcast roads, like we're doing stuff. and we're hardly ever on our phones. Like, and if we are, one of us let the other know, like, hey, I have this business thing or I have this thing, homework, whatever I gotta get done. So, while you're driving, I'm gonna get this done real quick or whatever. But it's like we let each other know, but even then, that's rare. Usually we're just, no electronics unless it's to change the music for like a minute, but it's just pure conversation or pure just bromance, basically.
Now, I have two last questions from my part. I don't know about that, but I have two last questions. One is regarding social media, and then the other one's regarding just comparison. So my first question is, would you say, are you heavy on social media or no?
Not really.
Is he?
No.
Okay, there you go. My question's answered. I was gonna say, like, do you feel like social media interferes with your relationship? But never mind. If you guys aren't even on it that much, you're fine.
Yeah,
I personally think social media messes up relationships.
Yeah, no, I agree. But we usually just use social media to communicate with each other.
Okay, see, dope. There you go. She already answered it. And then the second I was gonna ask is for those people out there who want to be in a relationship, what would you tell them are? Because just give them a comparison of advantages when you were single. That doesn't have to go bad. Just some advantages when you're single that you're able to do versus now it's harder in a relationship, but vice versa. What are some advantages being in a relationship versus when you were single?
I would have to think about that because, he's not super like the jealous type. So I'm still able to go out with my friends and he could go out with his friends. It's not like you stay home. Like, I don't want you talking to like guy friends because it's like, we're not really jealous like that.
So then what are some advantages of being in a relationship versus when you're single?
Advantages?
For those girls out there who are like, I don't need a man, Well, respect to you don't need a man, but but
I don't know. I would really have to think about that one. An advantage.
Or just something you've learned from being in a relationship. You could jump in.
I was gonna jump in kind of to throw something in, but not necessarily like answer for you. But I just feel like having that difference of being single and then being in a relationship. When in a relationship, you're getting that good morning, good night text or that I love you text. I know for a fact those two can be completely different. Where when you're single, you don't get that.
I don't get that.
I'm not even gonna start with you, bro. Like, but like in a relationship, you get that, and to a certain extent, you can value that each time, or it can make you wake up and you're happy, or go to sleep and so it's like I feel like that would probably be something.
I know an advantage now that I'm thinking in what you're saying. I feel like an advantage would be you have someone to talk to because I'm not that close with my siblings. So with him, I'm like super close with him now, so I could talk to him about anything. So I have someone to talk to. That's an advantage that I have.
I mean, those are just my questions. I don't know if you got anything to add otherwise than that. I mean, I got a lot.
No, there was one I was going to ask earlier back because we were going to talk, about some college stuff and, being in college through COVID and all that. But one of the first questions was, because you've basically kind of stuck through being in college while COVID was going on and taking classes online, do you feel like it was a waste of your money?
No, for me personally, I don't think it was a waste of money because we would do like asynchronous and synchronous, so you could watch the lecture whenever you had time. And I feel like that works better for people who are working and trying to like manage their time, work and do school at the same time. But for me, it wasn't a waste of money because I understood the lectures like perfectly. I didn't need any help. I understood everything that I had to do, got everything done on time. My grades still stayed the same. I got straight A's. So personally, it didn't affect me. But I know it has affected other people because they're more of like a hands-on learner. But for me, that wasn't a problem.
So with that being said, do you feel like your professors did a good job each time of teaching you and not just giving you the notes or just giving you the information and telling you to go study and do it yourself?
Could you repeat that? I zoned out.
Like, do you think the professors did a good job in the sense of actually teaching you the curriculum and just teaching you in general versus a professor just saying like, here's the notes,
Yeah.
here's the homework, you got to study this and this, like that.
Yeah, no, most of them did do like a good job doing that, teaching you and giving you all the material. But there's where like some professors where they just give you the thing and it's you do it on your own. But I didn't have a problem with that because I would like just look up resources to try to see like what would help me. If that makes sense.
Mhm. So in that case, like the professors that actually teach you outweighed more than the ones that just gave you the curriculum for you to study on its own.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know for me personally speaking, it was so consistent and it happened so often that I was just getting the curriculum. Like here, here's the notes, here's the
Mhm.
homework. Go, have the homework done by this date. But it wasn't really like, let me teach you how to get it done. Let me show
Yeah.
you, what you can do. Let me take the steps, like that kind of stuff. And even for stuff like for general ed at least, history or English, where it's not necessarily like math or chemistry where you're putting numbers or you're putting formulas and all that, but in the sense of, let's say you're reading something, instead of like actually pointing stuff out, like key details in a sentence or stuff like that, where just casually reading it, you might not know or you might not pick up on it. On just, I don't know, just teaching like habit stuff. I feel like it was more of they were just giving me the curriculum and not teaching me.
Mhm.
So that's why I just felt like I was basically wasting my money, and at least I stopped.
Yeah. See, I think it just depends on the person because I had already taken most of my GE classes, but the ones that I did online, some of them were still GE. But since I had already taken like previous geology classes, I kind of already knew like what to expect from that class. So most of the topic that was discussed in the other class was from the same material. So it wasn't that hard for me to understand it.
The other thing, and you pointed it out earlier, is I feel like I am the kind of person I learn more in person, and just being through Zoom, through a computer camera, it wasn't the same. I don't know. To me, I wasn't benefiting out of that kind of conversation because I couldn't really ask comfortably, ask questions, or if I could ask questions, like it was whatever was on the screen, like. And trust me, whatever was on the screen didn't stay up as much as what would be on the
Mhm.
board for me to either write notes down or do something. So
I can't speak. School is just never for me. I can't speak.
no, I feel like there might have been more we could have touched upon school wise.
There's a lot I could touch upon, but I'll become an enemy instantly. So I'm staying out of this.
Well, in that case, this is towards you because you always do this. Is there a thought provoking question or any like tips that you would ask her?
A thought-provoking question?
If you got one.
I thought I already asked them.
Well, I mean, anything else, or at least something that would go off of.
Okay. Here's a thought-provoking question. How many people have you encountered in school that have switched their major at least twice?
Twice?
Uh-huh.
None.
None?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
And my question,
Twice.
as long as if you did know anyone, why do you think that is?
I think my best friend changed her major once, but twice?
Like, I mean, in the case, like, they went in with this major, but then they changed it, so technically twice.
So yeah, it would be twice then. Yeah, I think, like, with the GE classes, most of them cover, like, the major that you wanted to focus on, but I guess she wasn't really, like, that interested or focused on the one that she was doing, and then that's when she changed it, and she thought that one was for her. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, so she thought something was for her that she tried, and she's like, never mind.
Yeah, like, she didn't want to do that one after all.
And then my last question. How beneficial would you say college was for you?
For me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. Beneficial?
Yeah.
I would have to think about that one. Was it beneficial for you? The times that you were in school?
For the career I was going for, not really. Because I want to be an engineer. Engineering is hands-on, at least the path I was going for, which was civil and environmental engineering. It's 2 into 1, but it's very much hands-on. Like either we're hands-on building models or actually constructing stuff, or we're on the computer building, like sketching ideas and stuff like that on the computer. But to me, it wasn't the same online, because that was another thing, was I wasn't being offered the hands-on I was hoping for with these elective classes like engineering. So that's kind of another reason why I was hesitant to continue. But I just feel like with what I learned in high school, because I took not so many, but I took a good handful of advanced classes, and I was always reading books and always researching and doing stuff on my own anyways. And when I got to college, I just felt like I was relearning the same things, and I was doing it for some time. So it was just like, why continue, or why do I need to do this again if I already passed the first time? And like, why do I have to stick through this and waste a few months, even though I already know this kind of stuff? Like, I can't just get a free pass kind of thing. So for me, it was just, I feel like I'm just wasting my time, and I'm not really gaining new knowledge out of this.
Gotcha. Well, I guess that could be beneficial for me because I feel like I've learned different stuff than what I did in high school. And also I made like new friends in college because, from high school, your friends all go to different colleges. You're not all going to go to the same one. So I made new friends at college too. So that could be something beneficial for me personally.
Well, then I think we actually got a good amount of stuff covered. My last things, I can't really speak because, in all honesty, my first few months in college were online. I was graduating class of COVID 2020. So my only experience was online. And then I went to another college, which was online. And I went to another college, which was online. And I don't know, for me, it was similar to him. I read consistently every day in the morning, every day, night. So it was one of the things where like I just felt like I wasn't absorbing new knowledge or learning anything new. And I just felt like I was kind of repeating history. So it was one of those that for everyone's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my last question, since we're on the topic of college, would you say college has been a heavy stab in your wallet?
No.
No?
For me, no.
You've been given a lot of aid, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to put no pocket money from my money into college. It was all paid for. So for me, it was beneficial, I guess.
For all 4 years?
Too. Yeah, for all 4 years.
Oh, okay, good. Did you have grants or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grants and FAFSA.
Okay. See, in that case, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it just depends on the person.
Mm-hmm. And then also, like, how much did you have to pull out for college? That's another thing as well. So you haven't had to pull out anything,
No,
which is good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dope. Other than that, I wrapped up with everything I wanted to ask.
Yeah, no, I feel like we touched up on a lot of relationship and a lot of college, or at least
towards the end.
Enough of college, yeah. I don't really have any more questions.
Did you have a question for us?
Right now, no.
Okay.
Questions.
She looked at Dario specifically.
She
Dario, you're going to get interrogated.
I'll be driving back.
Interrogated later on, that's for sure. All right, then. Other than that, my name is Charles.
My name is Dario.
My name is Cecilia. Or Cece.
And thank you for tuning in. This is New Age Podcast. Peace.